well, let's first modify the game.cpp. So in our window callback function, which handles window events, we're gonna handle the keys being pressed and released. So wm sys key down, okay, case wm sys key up, and just those. Okay. Break and break. First off, we're gonna get, well, let's, for example, Google this thing here, key down, wm key down. Okay, so wm key down, as you can see, parameters, wparam is the virtual key code. We have it here, so let's get it. It's in int32, it's an unsigned integer, key vk code, and let's do wparam. Then we use lparam to see if the key was previously down. So if the key was being pressed in the previous frame, and is down is if the key is being pressed now. And we get it by using the bit shift operator or on lparam. The last bit of lparam is the value is always 0 for wm key down. So it's 0 if the key is down, so we check if it equals to 0, then the key is down. Was down is the previous key state. Okay, the value is 1 if the key is down before the message is sent, or 0 if the key is up. So if the key is 1, then it was down. If it's 0, then it wasn't. Okay, based on that, we are gonna call input process key word input, and we're gonna pass in the key code and was down and is down. And we're gonna create this class next. Input.h pragma once include windows.h. We're also gonna need stdint.h for uint32 underscore t type. Name space using and class input, and we are also gonna have some private functions to hide the implementation details from the framework's users. So we're gonna say that the window callback function is a friend function, so that we can use private methods inside of window callback, and the private method is going to be process keyboard input. Actually, define it here, process keyboard input. That's going to be static void. The class is going to be static. Keyboard input, uint32 t key code, bool was down and bool is down. check what's down. Is down, yeah. Okay, next we're gonna have a bunch of publicly declared structs within our input. Struct KeyState, which is gonna have bool was down, is down, and then struct keyboard input map, which is gonna be simply an array that represents the state of our whole keyboard. So key state map, I guess, and we're gonna say DC max keys, and what it stands for is DC is deucing and max keys, so the maximum amount of keys that we have, and we're gonna define it in here, DC max keys, and we're gonna have 52. So for now we're gonna support 52 keys. And next we're gonna have to write out all the key codes. So here it is. We start with the alphabet, right, from A to Z. Then we move on to arrows, so up, down, left, and right arrows. Then the numbers at the top of the keyboard, then minus and plus, and then things like shift, control, alt, space, escape, caps lock, and all that stuff. Okay, all in all there are 52 of those keys, so that's why we've created a 52 an array of 52 key state elements. Okay, now we're gonna have private static keyboard input map. It's gonna be keyboard, so it's a static variable, a static field, I guess. And now let's declare our public API. So first off, static key state get key state. So Win32 key code. This is just gonna return the key state, I guess. Let's do it from lowercase, doesn't really matter. Then static bool is key pressed, Win32 key code. Then is key released, and then was key hit. Well, it's gonna returns true if the key has just been pressed. So you know, is key pressed is gonna return true if the key is being pressed. The is key released is gonna return true if the key is not being pressed. Those are states of the key, but this is more like an event. Has key just been pressed? If it has been, then will return true, otherwise false. Okay, and we're gonna implement those in our CPP file. Input CPP. No, let's first do include input.h, and namespace using and in here also also, since we're using a static variable here, we need to kind of redeclare it in our CPP file. Okay, now let's return keyboard map. Keyboard is undefined. I've defined it right here. Also, let's do, instead of map, let's do keys actually, because I think it sounds better. Keys and that. Oh, maybe input. Yeah, C++ stuff. Okay, so that's it for get KeyState. Is key pressed? We're just gonna return keyboard.keys key code and is down. Return is down, not is down for released, and for was hit you're gonna return so if it was not down and if it is down, in none of these functions do we check if the key code is in the range from 0 to 51, but I don't think we really need to. The only problem is if the key code is out of that range, then we're gonna be trying to access an element in an array, but with an invalid index, and it can be a problem. But as long as the user uses only those key codes that we've defined, it's not gonna be an issue. Okay. And that's pretty much it for the input. Oh, we also need to define our process invert input, of course. And so first off, we are gonna check is was down doesn't equal to is down. So if there has been some change in the state of our key, then we're gonna process it. Otherwise, there is no need. If key code, now it's not our key code. Let's actually call it vk code, because this is not our key code that we've defined, but it's the key code from the Win32 API in the format of Win32 API. So if vk code is more than equals to a, and vk code is less or equals to z, then we're gonna convert it into our JSON key code format, JSON key code, and we do that by vk code minus a. no, A. So, for example, say the user presses A. The V code is gonna be equal to this, to A, okay? And to convert this VK code to the JSON key code, we need to subtract A. And after we subtract the A, we get 0. And the JSON key code for A is 0. So if it's B, for example, we subtract B from A and we get 1. Here is our B, 1. Now this if statement only covers the letters, and now we're gonna have to manually check for all the other key codes and translate them from the VK code to JSON key code. I'm just gonna copy that from the prep code because it's a lot to write out. So here are our letters. Oh, by the way, we have to do something with the JSON key code. We have to do this: keyboard keys, JSON key code, like that. And for the rest of them, we check if VK code is VK up, then we do the up key. If it's down, then down. If left, left, right, right. The numbers we also kind of subtract, like in the case of letters, we subtract the 0, the first kind of character, and then we plus DC0, so we offset it because DC0 is 30. So for example, if the V code, if the key that has been pressed is 1, we're gonna have 1 minus 0, we'll get 1, and then plus 30, we'll get 31. And let's go here, 31, DC1. Okay, and this OEM minus is minus, OEM plus plus, shift control, menu is alt, space is space, yeah, capital is caps lock, return is enter, and OEM3 is tilde. That's it. Now let's also include this file into our include input.h. Also in our game.cpp we are gonna include input.h. Like so, and now we will be able to do input polling. So it's hard to see. So now if I press F, as you can see, it's the message is printed out. F is being pressed. I release, it stops being printed out. Press, release. Same with G. Okay, now I've just written this code here that lets us move our rectangle with arrow keys. Let's see how that works. Well, let's go maybe like 30. So yeah, as you can see, let's even do maybe 10. can see, we can now move the rectangle with our arrow keys. Okay, nice. So this has been, I think, pretty straightforward. With the keyboard input, it's pretty simple. It's hard to go wrong with that. So yeah, until next time.